Hello, dear chess viewers. This is Fide Chess Master Sohan Phadke, and I am going to introduce this new series. It is called Flame into Fire. So, this idea came to my mind when my students used to say, like, okay, how to create attack? We have an attacking position to find a solution, white to play and win, black to play and win. You can get millions and millions of puzzles in all the chess websites. But the main golden question, the $1 million question is how to create the attack. From a normal position, how to get initiative, and from the initiative, how to strike, and then finally how to win. So as I'm very fond of titles, I like this title, Flame into Fire. So we create a small flame. First, we need to bring the resources to lit the fire, and from the flame, naturally there is a conversion into fire. So we'll start. I'm not going to explain many examples, or I would say multiple examples. I'm going to focus on one example, and I thought that first start with my own, so I can explain the emotions, the emotional drama, as well as how the beautiful calculation tactics come, and how the golden treasure we can discover. How we can find the hidden treasure. So we'll start. This is the starting point of the position. I am playing with a recent tournament against one Fide master, Kashish Jain. And in this position, it's white's turn to play. And naturally, it's very logical that this square is weak. So naturally, the whole idea of playing bishop d4 was to play knight b6. So now he has initiated some dynamism on the chessboard. Now it's the player's skill to grab that opportunity or just let it go. If you let it go, you will play rook b8. No chance of fire. But you have to sense, like, now the dynamism of the board is shifting. Now we have a nice castle king. I have a nice f file. My pieces are almost developed. And remember one important thing, I have a pair of bishops. And this is a center free position, so naturally bishops will definitely have an important role to play. So my bishop on c8, this looks bad, but this is a potential bishop, so that is one of the reason why white played this move. Why white played this move, knight to b6. Idea is to play knight c8. He wants to play knight c8. So he played this bishop d4 move. He played the knight b6 move, and here you have to be smart enough to encash this dynamism. So one thought can be to play c5, so that after knight takes a8, I can play cd4, and this. Naturally, the knight will be trapped by bishop d7 and some dynamics will come into play. But the problem is after c5, white can play knight c8. And if you play cd4, he has knight e7 check. Again, it's a check. And white plays queen d4. So after knight c8, if I play rook c8, then white goes bishop b2. Okay, this position is fine. Nothing bad with it. Black still has a lead in development, and you can go on with playing something like d5. But somehow I feel after d5, maybe knight d2, and I think after c4, white is okay. Small initiative maybe for black, but you have to watch out for this weakness. So my pawn structure should be like this. I want not to play c5 d6. I want to play e5 d6 c6. So I played the nice move e5. Okay, so I played e5. My idea is to play, naturally, if he goes knight a8, I'm going to play d4. And this knight is not going to get back. Even after queen d4, I have c5. And even after queen c4, I have d5. So next move will be bishop d7. And this knight will be lost. So this is fine. This much you can definitely calculate. Now the question arises, after e5, white goes knight c8. He doesn't want to go into it. And not rook c8, but I play queen c8. Okay, so after queen c8, white goes bishop e2. If he goes here bishop e3, then I got, I mean, I got what I want. I can play d5, and I think I have a nice pawn structure. And I think now this is just too good. I can play queen f5 and g4, and a lot of attack is there. Slowly the flame will naturally be more bigger. Okay, the flame is slightly lit now. I mean, after e5, he goes bb2. He's controlling e5 to some extent. And I would love to play d5. But naturally, this is hanging. So I have to play the centralizing move. The queen on c8 does nothing, but she goes to f5. So one more piece near this king side. At the same time, it protects e5 with my next move is d5. Okay, now white plays queen e2. This is a very logical move. Idea is to stop my d5 and attack e5. Okay, so now how this little flame which we have got by some nice moves like e5 and all these things, slightly little flame is there. Still we have to put some more oil. We have to put little wood. Perhaps we should start with paper because paper burns harder than wood. So maybe little bit paper, oil, kerosene, and then this flame will go bigger. Still, it's in a very preliminary stage, but we will get into it. Now, a very critical moment, as I can feel in the game also and during the analysis. I know that this is a very important moment because just imagine white's knight coming to say f3, white playing c4. I mean, why should white complain at all, right? So we have to make sure, and this little bit of d5 is really hard to come. I mean, this d5 is hard to come because of e5. Okay, so what to do now? One standard plan, one of my students used to say, I mean, bishop b6 and improving the pieces makes sense. But I feel speed is more important in this position. We need to have little bit swift. At the same time, we have to control some important squares. So I played a very human-like prophylactic move. And guess what? I mean, what will you play from white? You have to prepare the attack. Another logical move is rook a8. And maybe to play bishop d8 and bishop b6. It makes sense. But I somehow feel that I need to be fast. And I need to control some important squares. So I think, I mean, I thought this way, like, just say if I give a pass, at the same time, this queen c4 check sometimes can be very annoying. So I don't want this. So I just stepped aside with king h8. A very small and a very cute little move where I'm just sidestepping and I'm ready for some actions down the king side. And one more point of playing king h8 is white cannot play knight d2 because the c2 pawn is hanging. I can capture c2. After knight d2, I can just capture this. And if he plays knight c3, then I can play d5. Now this bishop no longer controls e5. So this king h8 is like, just I safeguard my king. I don't want this queen c4 tricks. Okay, he plays c4. Now his idea is to go knight c3 and control d5. Makes sense. So c4. Now it's a very important decision making time. So at this point of time, you should have a little bit of more thought. This is an important decision making. If you give two moves for white, there is no sign of flame. The rain will come, and not even rain, a small just water droplets, and this flame is gone. So we need to keep this flame alive. We need to create a fire. That is our point. So fire, we have flame, but we have to create into fire. So now I realized I have to control this important squares. At the same time, I have to get d5 and I have to get this bishop c5 someday. I can play bishop d8 and bishop b6, but it's slow. I want to be fast. So I want to play d5, but I cannot. So I played the move e4. Now my idea is if he goes knight c3, I'm going to play d5 and there is no problem. But what is the downfall of this move is when the pawn is overextended, it can be challenged easily. So whenever you play e4, white's idea first is to play f3. So when you play e4, first you should analyze what is wrong with f3. I mean, why white can play f3. So naturally he did play f3. But I have calculated some nice variations, and which you are about to see. At the same time, I am trying to explain the thought process, because that is very important for a creative attacker. At the same time, how to have that classical attacking technique. Okay, f3, and again, worst move can be ef3. Okay, this is e7 is hanging. I am ignoring that. But rook f3 comes, and this rook can be a big guardian down the third rank. No flame, wiped out. So we have to keep the flame alive. So what we have to do? Natural move should be d5. Now, after d5, it's very important to understand, like after d5, first is what happens to fe4. So I'm going to, and this is such beautiful variations. Maybe this video can go slightly long, but I'm going to make it as short as possible. But I will not leave these beautiful variations which you will enjoy. So f3, what should black play? Please pause the video. Sorry, I did play d5. Okay. So for fe4, sorry. So for fe4, what should black play? And if you can find this, then really good. So you are into that stage that if the flame is slightly bigger, you can convert into fire. So black to play. Please pause. Okay, so after fe4, the main idea is to go bishop c5 check. Remember my some videos on Windows slide open. The slide is open. Naturally, somebody will come and hit a big throw, Neeraj Chopra throw, and this will hit him hard. Okay, so king h1, and one more interesting move is to play queen e4, which I thought initially that this should be a good follow-up, because after takes, I think even though queens are exchanged, but my attacking, this my fire, I mean, I have logs of woods and they are ready to burn and create into fire. So I think this is more dynamic and this should be better for black. But there is a thunder blow, a thunder shock, or I would say a big fire like explosion. Can you find out? Okay, the move is queen f1 check. Queen takes f1, knight e4. Look at this, all these tigers. They are stomach full. They are ready to pounce and kill. So knight e4, bam, hit him. Okay, I want to play rook f1, so he has to play queen e2. Okay, I can give knight f2 and I can play around. But a very classy and a very subtle move. Can you find out for black? Okay, the move is rook e8. And after knight g3, game is going to get over. There is no chance and this game is over. Just look at the activity. And these are all sleeping giants, nothing more. If white plays knight c3, then I can go knight f2. I can take. I think I can just first play check. Maybe I can take, and I have up a piece, and this should be enough to win a game. Beautiful, right? So this was a very nice variation with the idea of playing e4 and f3 is answered by d5. But remember, when I played e4, I have to calculate that long. So this part is the most difficult one, because you have to foresee, you have to imagine, you have to anticipate, and you have to understand as well, like what are the defensive probabilities, what is my attacking potential. I have to hit hard. That is one important indicator. Else white is just fine. So e4, f3, and d5. Okay, I think my opponent did calculate all this. It was a rapid game, but still, maybe he might have. Okay, he played knight c3. He didn't go into e4 like tricks. And what will you play? Okay, here actually I played a very human move, and I played the move bishop c5 check, king h1, and I played e3. So I did win this game, and this was a very human-like game. I'm just going to show some glimpse of like how I won, but I'm going to show you like how after the analysis I realized I could make a bigger bonfire. I could make a biggest fire I could have created. I did one. I created a fire, but always, no matter how good you are, I'm not saying I'm the best, but still, I do have some attacking tricks and knowledge, even though I feel like I could have improved on my attacking part. So let me just quickly show you how I won. I played e3, I want to play d4. He played knight a4. Okay, I played bishop e7 and he played c5. So basically he shut my bishop, fine. I put my rook to e8. Nice rooks. He took the pawn. Okay. There is a chance that I can win somewhere with e2. This is just winning, but I played bishop b8. This h2 is in my mind. He played queen e2, and I played the move d4 because after bishop d4 I have queen f4 and I can take. So he played rook d1, and here I could have. Can you find the winning move? I played knight d5, and I don't know, after bishop d4, after knight f4, e2 came and I won the game. This was easy finish, but there is one beautiful line for black. Can you find it out? It's black to play. Okay, the move is queen to h5, attacking this, and if he goes g3, if he goes g4, then can you find the move for black? This is amazing, actually. This is just amazing. I mean, the reason I didn't play queen h5 was g4, but it was a rapid game. You need at least little time to hit this golden move. Can you find it? It's really beautiful. Okay. After queen h5, g4, the move is bam, d3. Wow, wow, wow. And after takes, and I'm winning like this. And naturally, if he goes queen e3, rook d3, then now I have knight g4. Can you believe it? And now I'm hitting h2. And if he takes at g4, then I can play rook f1, queen f1, queen h2. Thank you very much. Okay, so this knight g4 was a beauty. And actually the whole point was, if I play knight g4 right away, then after this, then I don't have rook f1 because rook f1 comes. So when the rook is on d3, it cannot come to f1. That's the point of d3. See, when you walk through this beautiful treasure island, you will create some beautiful masterpieces down the road. You have to keep your attacking principles sharp. You need to have a good timing, basically. You need to hit it hard. And you need to understand when to hit it. Which point is the key? And secondly, you have to analyze, like, speed is important or not. I mean, in the position, if you can see, if you see that in the original position, bishop was on e7. It could have come to d8 and e6. But I need time, right? So I have to hit it hard. Okay, so this was one beautiful line. Naturally, I missed it because of rapid game, but I just love this idea of playing d3. What a beautiful move, d3. So much like, I mean, the joy. You just imagine the joy when you play this move on the board. Okay, now, as I've said, that I didn't play the best. I played better, not the best. Instead of playing bishop c5 check, I'm going to show you some beautiful lines. Again, now you can see like how the flame has got bigger. Now it's almost a fire. So how did I manage to, how I could have improved? Bishop c5 makes sense, no doubt about it. I mean, this is what I played, I won. But I could have done better. And if you find the right spot, and the spot is f4, I need that knight on f4, I need that queen, I need the bishop, I need the rook on e8. I mean, I need all these forces. Now, right now, I don't need this knight here, I need here. So knight h5, double exclamation mark. This is a hard move to find in a rapid game, no matter what, because this e4 is attacked. Secondly, the rooks are coordinated. These pieces, they look decent. But one important thing which black has is the center. I have the center, black has the center. That's why I can control some nice central squares. Knight h5, wonderful move. And now I'm going to show you two variations. One is with the move g4, which is a good move from white. A try to survive. And one is fe4. Can you find fe4? Can you find black to play and win? Okay, black to play and win. Alright, bishop c5 check. king h1, and yes, move is knight g3 check. Takes, and not queen h5, the queen will take on h5, but okay, so yeah, first I want to play here, so I play queen to g5. Idea is queen h6 check, and again this pawn is undoing, otherwise g3 would come and king g2 can come. So white plays rook f8 check, rook f8 check, and white plays bishop c1. Now what to do? So these two squares are controlled. Okay, I don't want this queen, so the move is, yes, rook f1 check, queen f1, and queen h5 mate. And if he goes king h2, then we play rook c1, and we are, I think, almost now queen h6 is going to be mate. Game over. Okay, this was very easy. I like this idea of playing knight h5, bishop c5, and knight g3. But the main idea is to play g4, and here I think this is for advanced attackers. So it is really beautiful and some very beautiful domination themes. I think it is good for advanced attackers, like how to proceed from here. Okay, so we have to make sure that this is not lost. So queen g6 is a good start, and white played fe4. I mean, white can play fe4. Now what? Okay, so we have to keep the fire rolling, we have to keep the burning, we have to keep pour lot of oil, kerosene, everything to keep it, all the flammable substances we have to put, because one mistake and the whole efforts from flame into fire are gone, and nobody cares how much efforts you took. It's important that this fire grows bigger and everything is burnt. Alright, what to do? Take your time, don't rush, because this is really good stuff, and this is example like how a small flame can create a big fire. Okay, the move is d4, good starting move. I don't want to play this. d4, fantastic move. And if he goes king h1, then I can just play knight f4 and take the knight. So knight goes to a4. Can you find a move? White plays. Black plays knight f4. Now I am to attack the queen. At the same time g4. So queen f3. Okay, now what to do? This is just beautiful. What should you do here? Okay, key point. The key point is the g4 pawn. This is a g4 pawn, and this whole idea is very important. And this queen is dominated. The queen will be under huge pressure, and you can see like how this is going to happen. So can you find the move? Okay, you can play rook d8, makes sense, nothing wrong with it. I think this position is just good for black. I don't think this knight is outside, even though black is down a pawn, but this is a pass pawn. This is okay, but I need to make it right. I need to find it right. So the move is h5, double exclamation mark. And it's so beautiful. I'm going to attack the g4 point, but after g4, the queen on f3 is going to get hit, and she is going to get hit so badly that she won't be able to find a good square, and that's where the domination idea will come into play. It's just amazing. Okay, white can play h3, nothing wrong with it. Then I can play hg4. Remember, you cannot play queen g4 because knight h3 loses the queen. So hg4, and now we want to play knight e2, so d3, and we want to play knight e2. And remember, this queen doesn't have good square because the queen is forced to control this square. She can play queen h1 check, but I don't think after king h8, this nobody can stop this. It's game over. Okay, so d3 and knight e2, and this queen will be lost. So h3 is not the move. White plays bishop d4. Now, first you play rook d8, and after rook d1, move is at g3, at g4, and just look at this queen. This queen is dominated. If she goes here, then what will you play? Okay, so you can play knight h3 followed by rook d4, or maybe can you start with rook d4 first? I think rook d4 is better. Oops, rook d4, knight h3. Is this winning? I think it's not. So rook d4 or queen e3. Or should I play bishop g5 here? Yeah. Just makes things easy. Yeah. I think bishop c5 should be winning. And with the ideas of playing knight h3 and maybe g3 in future. I mean, this pin is just nasty. Okay, so I like this is all analyzed variation, and I just like the idea that at g4 the queen doesn't have a good square, not g3, not f2, not e3, not c3. All the squares are gone and queen is lost. So some beautiful attacking points, and you can see that how a small flame, let's go back, let's go to the initial position. See from here, how you can see how a small flame, I tried my best to create a small flame. Still there is no flame here. I tried to put some flintstones and just make a friction and create something. And it's important to find a good important to find a good square for it. Not c5 but e5. And as you can see how the fire kept on rolling with, again now I'm bringing all the pieces. It's important to sidestep with king h8, and it's important, very very important. I think the critical moment of the game was to find a move e4, because from e4 I could play d5, I could mobilize all the forces, and this is an important spot for the knight. One day I have to play knight h5, knight f4, combination of queen knight and with d5 e4. Of course this rook will be needed in future. So I hope you like this my new experiment, basically, where, because many players struggle. I mean, when they complain like how to create an attack, they have this question in the mind, because when you solve the studies, when you solve the positions, you already have a winning position. It's just matter of finding one or two good moves and finally you win a game. So that part is definitely important. That is the final part of the game, like how to win a winning position, but how to bring that initiative, how to create the initiative, and from initiative, how to create a successful attack. That is a very very important part, and it is very subtle one. So more you train and more you get involved into it and more you are creative, I'm sure you can find some beautiful masterpieces. So this is my new series on Flame into Fire. More will come definitely, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Thank you very much.